The fastest way to know if something will work for you is to try it. Not think about it for 3 years. Not ask 10 more people. Not wait for God, the universe, your ancestors, your spirit guides, your therapist, your horoscope, and your nervous system to all agree at the same time. Try it, because life does not come with a trial period. There is no money back guarantee. There is no GPS that says, in 500 feet, become your highest self. No angel descends every morning with a printed map saying, here's exactly who you are meant to become, and here are the safest roads to get there. You are not given the whole staircase. You are given one step. And this is the part most people do not want to hear. Your need for certainty is often not wisdom. It is fear wearing glasses. Sometimes I am waiting for clarity really means I want a path where I cannot be hurt, rejected, embarrassed, disappointed, or wrong. Sometimes I am being patient really means I am terrified of being responsible for my own movement. Sometimes I am waiting on God really means I do not want to take the step that is already in front of me. That is not judgment. That is the mirror. Søren Kierkegaard, the 19th century Danish philosopher, once wrote in his personal journal, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. You do not get the lesson before the leap. You get the lesson because you leap. You do not understand your life by standing still and demanding proof. You understand by walking, falling, learning, adjusting, and then looking back with wisdom. Most people do not lose the path because they are incapable. They lose it because they are waiting for certainty before they begin. But certainty is not the doorway. Action is. The brain hates the unknown. It is always trying to predict what comes next because prediction keeps you alive. But when the brain cannot predict the future, it often fills the empty space with fear. What if I fail? What if I waste my time? What if they laugh? What if I choose wrong? And suddenly, you are not living your life. You are living inside a horror movie written by your nervous system. But notice something. The mind rarely asks, what if I succeed? It rarely asks, what if this step awakens something in me? It rarely asks, what if the version of me I keep praying to become is hiding inside the action I keep avoiding? That is the trap. Fear does not always scream. Sometimes fear sounds intelligent. It gives you research. It gives you reasons. It gives you backup plans for backup plans. It tells you to prepare forever. But there's a kind of preparation that makes you stronger. And there's a kind of preparation that keeps you asleep. Planning is holy when it serves movement. Planning becomes poison when it replaces movement. Now let us remove the spiritual fog. Proceeding without certainty does not mean being reckless. It does not mean ignoring red flags. It does not mean calling every impulse intuition. It does not mean just manifest it while doing nothing. That is not spirituality. That is avoidance with incense. Real spirituality is presence plus responsibility. Look at every serious spiritual story. Abraham is told to go before he knows the full destination. Moses faces Pharaoh before he feels qualified. The Buddha leaves the palace before he knows what enlightenment will look like. The mystics, prophets, sages, and seekers in every tradition are asked to walk before the ending is fully revealed. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna stands on the battlefield, confused and afraid. Krishna does not tell him, wait until all uncertainty disappears. He teaches him how to act from alignment. That is the point. Spirituality is not escaping uncertainty. Spirituality is learning how to move through uncertainty without betraying your soul. Trust is not laziness. Surrender is not giving your power away. Spirituality is not an excuse to stand still. Move with trust. Act with humility. Stop demanding the whole staircase before you take the first step. And this is where many people misunderstand intuition. They think intuition means they will always feel peaceful before they act. Not always. Sometimes intuition is not a dramatic voice from the sky. Sometimes it is the quiet recognition that a step is true, even while fear argues for safety. Sometimes your soul whispers, go, while your nervous system screams, stay safe. That does not automatically mean the step is wrong. It may simply mean the step is new. And the nervous system does not always love new things. It loves familiar things, even if the familiar thing is pain, even if the familiar thing is procrastination, even if the familiar thing is a smaller version of you. So do not demand certainty. Demand honesty. Ask yourself, what is the next honest step? Not the perfect step, not the permanent step, not the step that guarantees applause. The next honest step. Send the message, start the business, record the first video, apply for the opportunity, have the conversation, leave the room that keeps shrinking your spirit, begin the discipline you keep pretending you need motivation for, and begin small if you must. The soul does not need dramatic performance. It needs participation. A seed does not wait to understand the whole forest before it breaks open. It enters the darkness first. It lets the pressure of the earth become part of its becoming. You are no different. The uncertainty you are trying to avoid may be the very soil where your next self is trying to grow. And maybe that is what fear is. The shell is cracking. Not a sign to stop. A sign that something in you is ready to grow. Before you act, regulate, because an unregulated nervous system will call everything danger. Place your hand on your heart, breathe in slowly, breathe out slowly, and ask, what is the next honest step I can take with the information I have right now? Not from panic, not from performance, not from ego trying to prove something, from alignment, from truth, from the part of you that is tired of abandoning yourself in the name of waiting. One day, you will look back and understand why certain doors closed, why certain people left, why certain plans failed, why certain delays protected you, why certain risks changed you, why the step that scared you was the step that saved you. But you would only understand backwards. You must live forwards. So stop worshiping certainty. Certainty is not the doorway. Action is. Experience is. Love is. Awareness is. You are not here to wait until the map appears. You are here to remember who you are while working through the unknown. Proceed without certainty, not blindly, not foolishly, not arrogantly. Proceed awake, with prayer, with meditation, with discernment, with humility, with courage, with your heart open and your feet moving. Because the life meant for you will not be found in endless theory. It will meet you on the road. And if this spoke to something in you, do not just like the video. Live the message. Today, take one honest step you have been postponing. And in the comments, write, I proceed. Because sometimes the soul does not need more information. Sometimes it needs permission to move. Proceed without certainty, but not without truth, not without love, not without yourself. Move.